Hey y'all, welcome to Clackbait. Today we'll be taking a look at the Sequence by Parallel Limited. It's an in-stock O-ring mount 65% keyboard priced right in between the Bakeneko65 and Parallel's own Portal. If you're not familiar with an O-ring mount board, it's basically a single piece case that utilizes a gummy O-ring and sits between the PCB and the plate, and it friction fits into the case, giving it a really nice bouncy typing feel. So let's dive in. I'll go over everything that comes with the kit, pricing, pros and cons, typing tests with comparisons, and my final thoughts. But first, you know what time it is. Cue the music. Let's start the build. Hope you guys enjoyed that B-roll. If you did, let me know by subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button down below. So the Sequence in-stock price starts at $190 to $200 depending on the finish you select. This price does not include the PCB. The PCB will be an additional $35 for a solderable PCB and $45 for the hot swap. Now, the colors available are going to be silver, dark gray, black, navy, blue gray, and this green that I have here. And those are all the anodized color options. Now in E-Coat, they also offer a white and a lavender. Now here's what comes with the kit. It comes with a beautiful Sequence case, a custom zipper case that will fit most 65% keyboards, a full FR4 plate which supports hot swap and solder, ANSI, and ISO layouts, unified daughter board with the JST cable, a 30A silicone O-ring, black feet, screws, and some haichu, which I ate before getting it on camera. My bad. Additional options to purchase include an aluminum, a carbon fiber, or a polycarbonate plate, or you can purchase a softer or a harder O-ring compared to the one that comes with the kit. I do have a special offer on this for you guys, so stay tuned to the end of the video for that. Now the case's aesthetic is very minimal with beautifully rounded edges. The only branding that's on this is the Parallel logo on the bottom, which looks really clean with no text. The ano on the case is really high quality with no streaking or blemishes present on my unit. And this green is actually a darker green that really pops under the lights. The USB port is centered unlike the Portal, which is on the left side. And personally, I like a centered USB since I mainly use straight cables. Now here's some specs on the case itself. The typing angle is 6 degrees, the front height is 17.5 millimeters, and the weight is about 3 pounds fully built, which is interestingly heavier than the Portal. Now building the Sequence is pretty straightforward. You're basically gonna install your stabs, switches, place the O-ring around the assembly, and drop it in. Just make sure that you're using something to push down at the backspace area on the O-ring with something like a keycap puller or the back of some tweezers, just to make sure that the O-ring is seated properly. And that's it. No screws to deal with besides the 4 small screws that come just to install the daughter board the first time. Now when removing the assembly, all you have to do is remove the / key and you will find 2 slits that Parallel added to the plate to help easily remove the assembly. Just use some keycap pullers there and pull it out. It's a really solid touch and I'm glad they did that. Now pros and cons time. Cons first. There is a tiny bit of hollowness in this board. It's less than the Portal had, but it is there and I wanted to make sure that I reported that to you guys. But it's nothing that a little bit of polyfill or case dampener can't solve. The next one is not as much a con, but something that I would like to have seen included with the kit. I would love to have seen some stabilizers included at this price point. With the market shifting the way it is and some of the boards that are coming out at lower price points, I think adding something like cherry clip-ins would have been a really nice touch since the Bakeneko65 does come with that included at its price point. And that's really it on the cons. Now pros. I think Parallel did something really smart here with this board. Price wise, it sits comfortably between the Bakeneko65, which starts at $145, and Parallel's own Portal, which starts at $340. The fit and finish on the Sequence hits way above the Bakeneko65, which uses cast aluminum and paint for its case, and I think it justifies the additional spend for the Sequence. I also think the overall aesthetics are better on the Sequence, but that's completely subjective. The typing feel is nice and has a bit of bounce to it, similar to most O-ring mounted boards. And one thing I really love about O-ring boards is the ease of doing mods. And in this case, the ease of switching between the Sequence and the Portal if you happen to have one. You literally just have to pull out the PCB plate assembly, disconnect the JST cable, plug it up in the Portal, and set it in. I'm so glad that Parallel is offering a kit without the PCB, keeping their previous customers in mind and making it a lot easier for them. Now, one thing to note, if you do have a Bakeneko65 and you plan to get the Sequence, the PCB and plate from the Bakeneko will not fit the Sequence. So keep that in mind. Now, the sound of the Sequence is very similar to the higher tiered Portal and sounds nice and crisp. I found the overall sound comparatively to be higher pitched than the Bakeneko65. So what I've done is I've created 5 different typing demos for you guys. The first typing test is going to use the Green Jacket Protos, which absolutely slap. I'll have a full review of these super long pulse switches once I get my hands on the final unit. Since long pulse switches do disguise hollowness a bit, I decided to do a little bit further investigation and add some Gateron Cap V2 golds in here. I used the setup with an FR4 plate to compare it with the Bakeneko65, which also uses an FR4 plate. To keep things as even as possible, I also used the 35 O-ring that comes with the Sequence in all the builds, including the Bakeneko. Also, since the Sequence offers more plate options, the last typing demo is using a PC plate with the 38 O-ring. This turned out to be my favorite configuration. The PC plate paired with the 38 O-ring adds a good amount of bounce and deepens the sound to my liking. Now, what's my final verdict? I think this is a solid board with a really clean aesthetic, it has a nice typing feel, and it sounds really nice with a little bit of hollowness. So make sure you use some polyfill. So I'm sure I'll get this question a lot. Which board should you get between the Bakeneko65 or the Sequence? So to me, the value that you get with the Bakeneko65 is really great. However, if your budget lets you stretch a little bit more, I think it's totally worth the extra cost to go for the Sequence. It's significantly better from a fit and finish and material standpoint, and the typing feel and sound is really pleasant. And in my opinion, it looks a lot nicer. I'm glad Parallel is giving a solid O-ring option at a mid-tier price point. I give this board a big thumbs up. Now, if you're looking to get one, I have a special code ready for you guys that I worked with Parallel on, and that's to get you an additional O-ring of your choice free of charge. Now, this is not an affiliate link. I chose to bypass any kickback to get my viewers something free instead. I recommend adding the softer O-ring if you like a bouncier typing feel. And that's all I got for you, homies. I have some great boards on the way, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow me on all social platforms that are linked in the description down below. Enjoy the typing test. Peace.